his parents' dead body has been found or not. He literally searched that at 9:44 p.m. And then after a couple of hours, he started playing Tarkov and felt like, dude, I cannot find this quest item. I gotta search. And he fucking searched the Tarkov item for messenger task.
It really depended on what we were playing. On Tarkov, or Escape from Tarkov is what the game was called.
I brought him a 20-inch barrel SKS. Well, I'm gonna give it to someone who might actually appreciate this weapon and take care of it and all that. So I ended up just giving it to Chandler as a gift.
This is the gun that Chandler, who brutally murdered his parents. This is the gun.
Chandler killed him. Bart was killed by a gunshot wound to the head. It's fair to assume that after that, he waited for his mother to get home from work and killed her too.
So yeah, guys, I randomly found this on Reddit. This person was watching a true crime documentary about the case of Chandler, and this was his search history, like on Google search. Internet searches of interest. So now I know what types of people play Tarkov. I don't know if anyone know about Chandler. I kind of looked it up. I think it's this guy. He, as far as I know, yeah, see? Chandler found guilty of homicide in his parents' death. That's so sad, man. Anyways, so if you check out his internet searches of interest, number 1, body found in Wisconsin. Woman's body found in Wisconsin. Wisconsin dismembered body found. Dead body found in Wisconsin. Body found in Milwaukee River, 2021. After he was searching all those to check out if the investigation was going on with his homicide, he changed his subject to where the messenger hide the item Tarkov after 3 hours. I mean, obviously, it's a very famous game. I think in Valorant, there's criminals. In Minecraft, there's criminals. There's gonna be a bunch of criminals in every fucking game. Game is the easiest stuff that criminals can play, I think. This is also anonymous. Yeah, anonymous. No, I totally agree. It's terrifying to know we could have been raised with that lunatic. Exactly. So I found 2 links. Yeah, I found 2 links from the YouTube links. Is this the one? Oh, explore with us. I know this guy. I watch a lot of his videos. So I think. I think he posted a video, and a lot of like Tarkov players watched this, and they found the part where Tarkov parts pops out, I guess. Let me actually check that. Play the video. Give me a sec. I noticed this while watching the video as well. This was disturbed. Timestamp is 1 hour 37:04. Let's watch the first part. First part will like briefly explain the situation, and then after we watch that, we could jump.
Thursday, July 1st, 2021 wasn't unlike any other in the Halderson household in Windsor, Wisconsin. Living inside the home was 50-year-old Bart Halderson, his wife, 53-year-old Krista, and their youngest son, 23-year-old Chandler. Chandler was a hard-working live-in college student with an exciting life and an extremely bright future. He was pursuing an IT degree at Madison Technical College, was a member of a police scuba diving team, a young employee at an insurance company, and had a job waiting for him at Elon Musk's prestigious company, SpaceX, upon graduating. He was, by all accounts, an overachiever, and his parents couldn't have been more proud.
Wow, okay.
Chandler also liked to cook, and on the evening of the 1st, he'd made a pasta with scampi sauce dinner for his parents. Following dinner, he helped them gather and pack up tools and luggage in preparation for their 4th of July getaway. His parents had informed him over dinner that they were going on a weekend trip up to their family's cabin, 3 hours away in the woods of Langlade County. During the day, Chandler had noticed his father take a bank-wrapped stack of cash out of the safe in the basement. He'd also seen that his parents had taken a handful of bottles from the liquor cabinet. He'd noted both of these things as odd, but didn't think too much of it. After helping them get their belongings together, the 3 enjoyed some television before they all headed to bed. That would be the last time Chandler would see his parents alive. Quite frankly, everything Chandler had told everyone around him about his life was a complete lie. Chandler had been attending Madison College, but he had stopped attending classes over a year ago and never told anyone. He'd even pretended to be a Madison College administration member and communicated with his parents, both over email and over the phone. This was all to make it appear to his parents that he was still enrolled. There was never a job waiting for him at SpaceX. He'd never secured an apartment in Florida with plans to move himself and Kat there. He very likely faked the fall or caused the fall on purpose right before he was scheduled to leave for Florida in order to avoid facing that lie. He'd never been on a police scuba diving team. But what he'd certainly done was manage to convince everyone in his life that this was his reality. Bart told Chandler that they'd both be attending a meeting up at his school that was scheduled for July 1st, the same evening that Chandler had supposedly helped his parents pack up their things for their weekend getaway. When it was time to head off to their meeting the evening of the 1st, before he and Bart could walk outside to the car, Chandler killed him. Bart was killed by a gunshot wound to the head. It's fair to assume that after that, he waited for his mother to get home from work and killed her too. It's still unclear exactly how Krista died. Vultures circling the woods on the property. Police inspected the woods near where Chandler had been seen, and it wasn't long before they made their first gut-churning discovery: a male human torso. The arms and head were completely missing, and the legs were cut off above the knee. Just as disturbing, Chandler had described that his father wore those cheesy dad joke shirts, and the torso was found still wearing a t-shirt with a joke about sarcasm on it. Investigators also found several cutting tools, including scissors, a saw, bolt cutters, and a long blade, discarded in an empty oil drum by the barn. This was enough to charge Chandler with his father's murder. Interestingly, the medical examiner would later note that there were noticeable differences in the marks left by the tools used to dismember the torso, which could possibly indicate that more than one person made the marks. However, his mother Krista was still missing. She wouldn't remain missing for long, though. Krista's remains were found by the Wisconsin River, in the area where Kat pinged Chandler's location on July 3rd. Most disturbing of all was that when the police arrived in the area, they noted that it appeared familiar. During their investigation, they had noticed a photo of Chandler leaning against a distinct-looking elm tree. They soon discovered that same tree in the area, and approximately 100 yards behind the tree Chandler was photographed with were Krista's remains. Though the details of how or when exactly this occurred are unknown. Chandler pleaded not guilty in September of 2021. However, he refused to talk to his appointed lawyers about the case or testify at his own trial. His trial began in January, and due to his lack of cooperation and the pile of evidence against him, the case was practically open and shut. Among the evidence gathered was surveillance footage from a Fleet Farm department store that showed Chandler purchasing a tarp. This tarp would also later be found on the farm, rolled up and discarded in a garbage can. Also found on Cress's property was a white plastic grocery bag at the bottom of a recycling bin. Inside the bag, there were several balled-up paper towels, which were covered in a substance that appeared to be old, dried blood. In addition, Chandler was caught on surveillance camera picking up some large bags of ice from a Target store on July 3rd and from Quick Trip on July 1st. Chandler's internet search history also ended up being one of the biggest clues to his involvement. On July 7th, less than a week after his parents went missing, Chandler searched for body found in Wisconsin, woman's body found in Wisconsin, Wisconsin dismembered body found, dead body found in Wisconsin, body found in Milwaukee River 2021, and Bart and Krista.
Obviously, he doesn't read the part, but this is why we're watching this video, guys. So yeah, he was searching these topics in the internet to check out if the police has any clues or anything. And at the middle of it, 12 p.m., where the messenger hide the item Tarkov. So he literally killed his parents a week ago, and he was looking for any internet evidence of people of police actually getting a clue what happened, or actually his parents' dead body has been found or not. He literally searched that at 9:44 p.m. and then after a couple of hours he started playing Tarkov and felt like, dude, I cannot play. I cannot find this quest item. I gotta search, and he fucking searched the Tarkov item for messenger task. And after 3 hours later, he again searched. So he's literally worrying about his homicide, and he'll be like, "Okay, they didn't found it out yet. Let's just play some Tarkov." It's like casually he's just doing that.
Investigation. Neighbors also provided some damning evidence. One claimed to have smelled burning wood, followed by an odor of barbecued meat in the air on the night of July 1st. Another neighbor provided security camera footage that showed a flickering light emanating from the Halderson home during the very early morning hours of July 2nd, from approximately midnight until about 4:30 a.m. Only one question remains. Where had Chandler stored the bodies while Kat was over for the weekend? It appears we may never know. Further investigation of the Halderson's home uncovered the presence of more than 200 bone fragments in the fireplace. The use of a blue light exposed traces of blood in front of the fireplace and on the basement floor of the home that had been cleaned, just as Chandler had reported. However, the amount of blood present was way more than anything a cut on the toe, a nosebleed, or scratches could have produced. Then, of course, there's the fact that in the days following their disappearances, Chandler was spotted in both areas where...
So I think it was like this. He dismembered his parents, burned the parts like legs and arms, and he dished the torso in the forest as we saw in the previous part. Something like that. I don't know why he did like that. He's a fucking psychopath.
His parents' remains were discovered. The jury would deliberate for only 2 hours, after which they would find Chandler Halderson guilty of the intentional homicide of his parents, Bart and Krista Halderson. He was also found guilty of 2 counts of giving false information regarding a missing person and 2 counts of mutilating a body. Chandler requested not to be present at his sentencing, but his request was denied, and he was forced to attend. At his sentencing on March 17, 2022, Chandler's defense team pleaded for the possibility of parole, but the judge would state that in order to fulfill his duty of ensuring the safety of the public, he had to hand down a sentence that would guarantee that Chandler would never walk the streets again. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Chandler only had one thing to say at his sentencing. He made a brief statement saying that he planned to appeal the verdict and that if any criminal lawyers were watching and wanted to take on his case, they should reach out to him as soon as possible. And he wasn't kidding. On March 30th, 2023, Chandler submitted a notice of no merit appeal for his conviction. This is exactly what it sounds like, an appeal filed by a lawyer who doesn't believe there's actual reasonable grounds for an appeal. Chandler is currently serving his life sentence at the Dodge Correctional Institute in Waupun, Wisconsin.
I kind of talked about it at the early part of the stream. Like, yeah, I'll just talk in brief because I already said it. I hate that my text is, I mean, not my text, but United States text is going into his fucking mouth. You guys are feeding him because he's life in prison. We should just like put him in some random non-populated island and let him be in there. Just like that. I hate that. I hate that. Another video, we should check this one out, I think. I turned on that video because people were talking about it here. I'll read the comment real quick. The dude pretty much devoted his life to the game instead of going to college and working these jobs he was telling everyone he was doing. Yeah, so that's the criminal the comment is talking about. His dad figured out the fraud and confronted him about it, so he killed him. The guy he played Tarkov testified at his trial because he was the one that gifted him the weapon that he used to kill his. What? Wait. The guy he played Tarkov with testified. Oh. So this guy is the testifier talking about he was the one that gifted the criminal the weapon SKS, and that SKS was used to kill the criminal's parents. That's why he's confessing. He's like testimonying. The guy explained that since Chandler loved the gun in the game, he gave a real one. What? He said Arma 3. I thought it was Arma 3. Where does he talks about that? I kind of want to see where he talks about the SKS.
And would you continue to play the same types of games?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any specific weapons that Mr. Halderson liked when he was playing these games?
It really depended on what we were playing. On Tarkov, or Escape from Tarkov is what
He's talking about Escape from Tarkov, okay.
Tarkov is what the game was called. It would range from realistically to whatever we could find inside the video game, because not everything was necessarily easily to collect, but the SKS was certainly a weapon that was fun to use in Tarkov and was something that I had grown interest in as well.
Oh my god.
And when you visited Wisconsin to see Chandler, you brought him a gift.
Yes, sir.
What did you bring him?
I brought him a 20-inch barrel SKS.
How did you acquire this gun?
So I had purchased it on a gun broker, and I went and had it sent to my FL, and then I went and sat in the FL until I went and did the FL transfer. So I purchased it initially because I really thought, like, oh, well, I like it in the video game. I might like it in real life. And then I fired it. It sat in my safe, and then I never touched it again. And then it just dawned on me, like, well, I'm going to give it to someone who might actually appreciate this weapon and take care of it and all that. So I ended up giving it to Chandler as a gift.
Okay.
Oh, is that the gun? That's the SKS rounds. SKS mags. That's the SKS mags. Oh, is that the one? There it is. That's the gun. Okay. Ah. Oh my god, I think I found it. Oh my fucking god, I'm making it. Is it this one? Not that one. I know what that is. It's MRS. Ammos. Like this one, right? It's this one. Am I gonna get punished by God for making this? This is the gun that Chandler who brutally murdered his parents. Is this the gun? I think, yeah, we only need the sling thing. It's the gun, guys. Used PS ammo also. I mean, actually, I was gonna end the video like this, but I'll just tell you my opinion, guys. It's not the game that actually makes the person. It's just the person who's just playing the game. In Korea, there's a lot of politicians or like big high authorities always saying that, dude, these all FPS games making kids fucking violent. They should be studying, not playing games. And parents will be like, oh my god, I love you, politician. Take my boat. Take my money. They always do that. And it's such an easy way to get the boat. That's why people tend to say the game makes the person really like violent or really bad. But if you think about it, it's just that. It's not because criminals play the game or the game makes the criminal. It's just the criminal fucking playing the game. Criminal eats food. Criminal eats food. Criminal have sex with a girlfriend. Criminal sleeps. Criminal plays games. It's just that, not the crime actually happening because of the game. Just saying, because like I think a lot of people will think that, oh my god, I see the level of Tarkov players is so disgusting. I think some people are gonna say that, but I don't think it's like that. Yeah, just wanted to say that quick.